Hi children, in Sri Chaitanya's NEET Sankalp 2.0 program regarding the subject zoology, the next chapter I am going to discuss is structural organization in animals. In this chapter, I will give you the quick revision of, detailed revision of animal tissues, cockroach topic and frog topic. So without making any late, let's get into the first topic, animal tissues. Animals consist of only 4 basic types of tissues. So these tissues that are performing the same function grouped to form organs. Organs performing the same function can be grouped to form organ systems. The cells, tissues, organs, organ systems split up the work in a way that exhibits division of labor and contribute to the survival of the body as a whole. The 4 basic types of tissues that are present in animals are epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissues and neural tissue. Let's talk about epithelial tissue. So the first one is the epithelial tissue. Epithelium means covering. So the epithelium, see the outer surface of the skin is a compound epithelium. So it covers the body. So epithelium means covering. This tissue has a free surface which faces either a body fluid or the outside environment and thus provides a covering or a lining for some part of the body. For example, if you talk about coelomic epithelium, it has contact with the coelomic fluid. If you see the epithelium lining the blood vessels, it is having contact with the body fluid called blood. If you see the epithelium covering the body, so the dry surface of the skin, it is facing the external environmental conditions. In epithelial tissues, the cells are compactly packed with little intercellular matrix, and epithelial tissues are avascular. Epithelial tissues are derived from all the 3 germinal layers. They are derived from ectoderm, they are derived from endoderm and they are derived from mesoderm. Epithelial tissues are classified broadly into 3 categories in our NEET syllabus, like simple epithelium, compound epithelium, glandular epithelium. What is simple epithelium? The simple epithelium means a single row of cells that are present on the basement membrane. It is thin in nature. Based on the type of the cell, the simple epithelium is classified into 3 categories: simple squamous, simple cuboidal, simple columnar. In simple squamous epithelium, cells are flat, the nucleus is present at the center of the cell, the shape of the nucleus is oval, and the simple epithelium is forming the diffusion boundaries. So where is the simple epithelial tissue is present? It is present in the lining of alveoli, present in the lining of Bowman's capsule of nephron, present in the lining of blood vessels and also present in the lining of coelom. That means coelomic epithelia are also made up of simple squamous epithelium. The simple squamous epithelium present in the Bowman's capsule is involved in filtration. The simple squamous epithelium present in the alveoli is involved in diffusion. So the squamous epithelium, simple squamous epithelium is involved in diffusion, filtration activities. The second type is simple cuboidal epithelium. Cells are cube-like. The nucleus is present at the center of the cell, which is spherical in shape. Simple cuboidal epithelium is present in the lining of tubular parts of nephron, like proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule. And simple squamous epithelium is also present in the lining of ducts of glands. The simple cuboidal epithelium present in the proximal convoluted tubule is having a brush border surface where it increases the area of absorption. But overall, simple cuboidal epithelium is involved in absorption and secretion. The third type is simple columnar epithelium. Here the cells are tall pillar-like, nucleus is present at the base. Regarding the columnar epithelium, it is present in the lining of stomach, internal lining of stomach and internal lining of intestine. In the stomach, these columnar cells are involved in secretion and absorption. In the intestine also they are involved in secretion and absorption. But in the intestine, simple columnar epithelium consists of microvilli that increases the area of absorption. Next one is ciliated epithelium. So some columnar cells, some cuboidal cells, they possess cilia at their free surface. Actually the epithelial cells are having cilia at their free surface. They are having microvilli at their free surface, and some are having stereocilia also. But when it comes to the ciliated epithelium, columnar and cuboidal cells possess a cilia. This ciliated epithelium is mainly located in bronchioles and fallopian tubes. So wherever the ciliated epithelium is present, it is involved in the movement of particles in a particular direction. The second type of epithelium is compound epithelium. In compound epithelium, there are many rows of cells are present on the basement membrane. It is thick in nature. Only the lowermost row of cells are present on the basement membrane. The main function of the compound epithelium is protection, but it is also having a limited role in secretion and absorption. Based on the type of cells, the compound epithelium also can be classified into 4 categories like stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal, stratified columnar and transitional. The dry surface of the skin, moist surface of buccal cavity and pharynx is made up of stratified squamous epithelium. Ducts of sweat glands, salivary glands and pancreatic ducts are lined by stratified cuboidal epithelium. Conjunctive of eye consists of stratified columnar, urinary bladder consists of transitional epithelium. So these 4 categories comes under compound epithelium. Compound epithelium is also known as stratified epithelium. The third one is glandular epithelium. Some of the cells of epithelial tissues are having the secretory particles. They are involved in secretion. What kind of cells are involved in secretion? The mainly cuboidal cells and columnar cells. The cells are based on number of cells that are present in a gland. It is of 2 types, unicellular glands and multicellular glands. Unicellular glands consist of isolated glandular cells. The best example for that is goblet cells. Goblet cells secretes mucus. The goblet cells present in the intestine that are secreting mucus comes under unicellular glands. The next one is multicellular glands. Multicellular glands consists of a cluster of cells. See, so this is a multicellular gland. It consists of cluster of secretory cells. These multicellular glands, depending on their method of pouring, we can classify them into 2 categories like exocrine glands and endocrine glands. Exocrine glands secrete their secretions through the ducts. Endocrine glands release their secretions into the fluid bathing the gland. The examples for the exocrine glands includes sweat glands, salivary glands, earwax glands, sebaceous glands. The liver, they are all coming under exocrine. When it comes to the endocrine glands, I said the secretions are released into the fluid that is bathing the gland. From there it will go to the blood. Blood will carry that endocrine secretion to the target tissues. So endocrine glands are ductless glands. Examples for the endocrine glands includes pineal gland, pituitary gland, thymus, parathyroid gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, etc. So this is regarding glandular epithelium. And epithelial tissues are having cell junctions. It's not like epithelial only having cell junctions. Cell junctions are also present in other tissues. There are mainly 3 categories of cell junctions. See, all cells in epithelium are held together with little intercellular material. In nearly all animal tissues, specialized junctions provide both structural and functional links between its individual cells. There are broadly 3 types of cell junctions I am going to explain. One is tight junctions, adhering junctions and gap junctions. So the tight junctions, they help to stop the substances from leaking across a tissue. So the best example for the tight junctions is sweat glands. They prevent the leakage between the cells of a sweat gland. The second one is adhering junctions, which are also known as cementing junctions. Adhering junctions perform cementing of cells together. That means they hold the cells together in a particular epithelial tissue. Best example is in compound epithelium. The many layers of cells are held together by using the cell junctions, like adhering junctions. The third one is gap junctions. In gap junctions, the cell connected to another cell from cytoplasm to cytoplasm, and that allows the movement of ions, movement of small molecules and sometimes large molecules from one cell to the other cell, and it will cause a rapid communication between the cell. Hence, the gap junctions are said to be communication junctions. The best example for the gap junctions are, they are present in cardiac muscle. Intercalated discs possess gap junctions. With this, epithelial tissues is completed. The next one is connective tissues. Connective tissues are most abundant tissues in our body and widely distributed in the body of complex animals. They named connective because of their specialized function of linking, supporting other tissues and organs of the body. And connective tissues are mesodermal in origin. Connective tissues are vascular except cartilage. Epithelial tissues are avascular, connective tissues are vascular except cartilage. Cartilage comes under specialized connective tissue. And when you see a connective tissue consists of cells, connective tissue consists of extracellular matrix. In the extracellular matrix, there is a ground substance that includes water, proteins and modified polysaccharides. Of course, the matrix also consists of fibers like collagen fibers, elastic fibers and reticular fibers. So, connective tissue consists of cells plus matrix, matrix consists of ground substance and fibers, and ground substance includes water, proteins and polysaccharides. We can categorize the connective tissues into different types like loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, specialized connective tissue. But before going for that, I just want to tell you the cells of the connective tissue called fibroblasts, they secrete fibers. The fibers are involved in providing the strength, providing the support, providing the flexibility, recoiling ability. These fibers are present in all connective tissues except blood. Blood is not having fibers. And the cells of connective tissue itself produces the modified polysaccharides. Those modified polysaccharides are the part of ground substance, which is nothing but matrix. When it comes to the broad categories of connective tissues, loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, specialized connective tissue. Under the loose connective tissue, there are two types like areolar and adipose. Under the dense connective tissue, there are two types like dense regular and dense irregular. Under the specialized tissues, there are two categories, skeletal connective tissues and vascular connective tissues. Skeletal connective tissues includes cartilage and bone. The fluid connective tissues like vascular connective tissues includes blood and lymph. Of course, the adipose tissue also comes under special connective tissue. Along with the loose connective tissue, adipose can also come under the specialized connective tissues. Let's talk about loose connective tissue. The name loose connective tissue is derived because cells and fibers are loosely arranged in a semi-fluid matrix. Many types of cells present, fibers present in these types of particular tissue. And loose connective tissue is of two types, areolar connective tissue and adipose connective tissue. Regarding the areolar connective tissue is having many types of fibers. So, the collagen fibers, elastic fibers, reticular fibers. Areolar connective tissue is also having many types of cells like macrophages, mast cells, fibroblasts, neutrophils, acidophils, adipocytes, plasma cells, many types of cells present in areolar connective tissue. It has got name areolar because within the ground substance there are some air-filled gaps present which are called areolae, hence the name areolar connective tissue. Mainly it often acts as a support framework for epithelium and it is present beneath the skin. The second loose connective tissue is adipose. Adipose connective tissue is also present beneath the skin, and the types of cells present in the adipose connective tissue are called adipocytes. These adipocytes are meant for storage of fats. Excess nutrients are converted into fats and stored in adipose tissue. The main function of adipose tissue is storage. It is also present beneath the skin, and this adipose tissue is involved in the formation of subcutaneous layer. Next, after loose connective tissue, the next category is dense connective tissue. The name dense is derived because the fibers are compactly packed and cells are very few in this. Broadly, dense connective tissue is categorized into two types, dense regular, dense irregular. In the dense regular connective tissue, the parallel bundles of collagen are arranged. In between, there are cells that are secreting fibers are present called fibroblasts. These dense regular connective tissue is present in tendons and ligaments. Tendons are connecting muscle with the bone, ligaments are connecting bone with the bone. And tendons are involved in transfer of force of muscle contraction from muscle to the bone. Ligaments are holding the bones at a particular joint together, and they allow appropriate movements and prevents dislocation. The second category of dense connective tissue is dense irregular. In this dense irregular also there are collagen fibers. These collagen fibers, they are not arranged in parallel way, they are oriented in different directions. And between them, the cell secreting fibers present called fibroblasts. As they are arranged in oriented in different directions, it can offer the stress resistance from different directions. It is present beneath the skin, especially in the dermis of the skin. The third category is specialized. Under specialized, there are skeletal and fluid. Under skeletal, we have cartilage and bone. Let us talk about cartilage. Cartilage is also known as a gristle. The intercellular matrix material of a cartilage is it is solid and pliable, resist compression. See, the cartilage consists of empty spaces called lacunae. In the lacunae, there are cells present called chondrocytes. And the fibers present in the matrix are collagen fibers. And this, along with the collagen fibers, the matrix is also having chondroitin salts. The pliability of cartilage is because of these chondroitin salts and collagen. And this cartilage cells are called chondrocytes. One lacuna consists of many chondrocytes. Where are the locations in our body the cartilage can be seen? The examples of cartilage includes, it is present at the tip of the nose, outer ear joints, that means our pinna consists of cartilage, between adjacent bones of the vertebral column. So, between the vertebrae, there are cartilaginous structures present known as intervertebral disc. Next, the limbs and hands in adults are having cartilage. That means at the end of long bones in limbs, there is a cartilage that is called hyaline cartilage. Along with that, some other examples in our NEET syllabus that are cartilaginous includes our larynx is made up of cartilage. Epiglottis that closes the glottis at the time of swallowing is made up of elastic cartilage. In our pelvic girdle, between the two pubic bones, there is a cartilaginous structure present known as pubic symphysis. That is also made up of fibrous cartilage. Intervertebral disc is made up of fibrous cartilage. There is cartilage in our thoracic region between the ribs and sternum. So these are the locations where the cartilage is generally present. And among the vertebrates, the embryos of vertebrates, endoskeleton is mainly made up of cartilage. Later it is replaced by the bone. The next skeletal structure is the bone. The bone have hard and non-pliable ground substance. The ground substance of bone is hard and non-pliable. It consists of calcium salts and collagen fibers. The rigidity, hardness of the bone because of these calcium salts. The bone cells are present in the lacunae, but one lacunae consists of one bone cell called osteocyte. And this particular system of circles which are present in this picture together called Haversian system. Haversian system is peculiar to the bone. The Haversian system consists of Haversian canals, lacunae, canaliculi, lamellae, etc. And these components are having the collagen and calcium salts and providing rigidity to the bone. And what are the functions of bone tissue? The bones are forming the structural framework of the body. Our skeleton is made up of bone mainly. The bones are forming the framework around the internal body parts and soft tissues. See, rib cage protects the lungs. Cranium protects the brain, which is a soft tissue. At the tip of the long bones, there is red bone marrow. In some bones, the red bone marrow produces the blood cells. The bones are involved in locomotion. Bones are acting as homeostatic reservoirs of minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus. So these are the main functions of the skeletal system, especially the bones. After the skeletal tissues, the next specialized tissues includes the fluid connective tissues. Among the fluid connective tissue, the first one is blood. So blood is a fluid connective tissue because the matrix of the blood is fluid, that is plasma. Study of blood is called hematology. In the human, approximately 5 to 6 liters of blood is present. And the blood mainly consists of two components, the plasma and formed elements. Plasma constitutes 55% and formed elements constitute to 45%. Let us talk about plasma. The plasma consists of water. The water content in the plasma is around 90 to 92%. And along with that, the plasma is having proteins, electrolytes, gases, nutrients, waste, etc. When it comes to the proteins of the plasma constitute 6 to 8%. And the proteins, major proteins of the plasma includes albumins, globulins, fibrinogen, prothrombin. The albumins are the smallest plasma proteins. They are produced by the hepatocytes and they are mainly involved in the maintenance of osmotic pressure, and they also act as a acid-base buffer. Globulins, especially gamma globulins, are involved in protection. Gamma globulins are nothing but antibodies. Fibrinogen and prothrombin are the inactive proteins of the plasma. Whenever there is an injury at the time of a bleeding, these components get activated and involved in blood clotting and stops the bleeding. The plasma is also having, see, I said they are having clotting factors. Plasma without clotting factors is known as a serum. And the plasma consists of several minerals like electrolytes, sodium, potassium, chloride, bicarbonates, etc. The plasma is also having enzymes like carbonic anhydrase. It has nutrients, vitamins and hormones also. When it comes to the formed elements, there are three types of formed elements: erythrocytes, leukocytes and platelets. Erythrocytes are nothing but RBC. Let's talk about erythrocytes. Erythrocytes are 4.5 to 5 millions per cubic milliliter. The shape of the erythrocytes is circular and biconcave. Because of this shape, they have more surface area to volume. That is an advantage for the transportation of gases. The erythrocytes are enucleated. Nucleus is absent, cell organelles are absent. And what is there inside the erythrocyte? Cytoplasm, which is called cytosol, that consists of hemoglobin. The function of hemoglobin is, it is involved in the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Hemoglobin transports oxygen in the form of oxyhemoglobin, carbon dioxide in the form of carbaminohemoglobin. The lifespan of RBC is 120 days. Once the lifespan of RBC is over, they will be broken down in spleen. Spleen is said to be the graveyard of RBC. 100 ml blood of a healthy person consists of 12 to 16 grams of hemoglobin. So these are the salient and important points related to the red blood cells. Production of red blood cells is called erythropoiesis. Whenever there is loss of RBC is there, that condition is called anemia. When it comes to the WBC, white blood cells. Regarding white blood cells, see, they are 6,000 to 8,000 per cubic milliliter. All the WBCs are having nucleus. They are nucleated. Next, they are having cell organelles. See, RBC is not having cell organelles like mitochondria. Hence, RBCs are showing anaerobic respiration. Cellular respiration is anaerobic in RBC. But when it comes to the WBC, they show aerobic respiration. 6 to 8,000 per cubic milliliter. The production of WBC is called leukopoiesis. When there is abnormal, uncontrolled production of WBC is there in the body, that is called cancer. That cancer is nothing but leukemia. And WBCs are broadly classified into two categories: granulocytes and agranulocytes, depending on the presence of specific granules that can be stained by using special dyes. There are three types of granulocytes like neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils. Two types of agranulocytes like lymphocytes and monocytes. And the percentages of these WBCs is important. So let's begin with the neutrophil. The neutrophils constitute 60 to 65% of WBCs. Neutrophils are having a multi-lobed nucleus with 3 to 5 lobes, and they are having specific granules that can be stained by using neutral dyes. The main function of the neutrophils are, they are phagocytes. They can engulf the pathogens and destroy them by a process called phagocytosis. These are also called microscopic policemen, and we can call them as granulocytic phagocytes. The next one is basophils. These basophils are having irregular shaped nucleus. The specific granules can be stained by using basic dyes. The basophils are 0.5 to 1% in WBCs, and they are involved in the production of components like histamine, bradykinin, serotonin, heparin. The histamine and bradykinin are called vasodilators. which are involved in inflammation, hence they are called inflammatory mediators. Serotonin is a vasoconstrictor and heparin acts as anticoagulant that can prevent the blood clotting. It is produced by the basophils. So basophils, when they are overstimulated, they produce excess histamine. Excess histamine causes excess vasodilation that may lead to allergy. Third one is eosinophils. The percentage of eosinophils in WBCs is 2 to 3%. And the nucleus is bilobed nucleus, and the specific granules can be stained by using a specific acidic dye called eosin. Hence, they are also called eosinophils. They resist infection. They are associated to allergic reactions. These are the two important functions of eosinophils. The next category is agranulocytes. They don't have specific granules. Agranulocytes are of two types, lymphocytes and monocytes. Lymphocytes constitute 20 to 25% of WBCs. And depending on the maturation and other factors, we can classify the lymphocytes into B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes, large granular lymphocytes. B lymphocytes, depending on its maturation, the maturation of lymphocytes can occur in the bone marrow. The B lymphocytes, they are involved in the production of antibodies and involved in immunity. That specific type of immunity is called humoral immunity. When it comes to the T lymphocytes, the maturation of T lymphocytes occurs in the thymus gland with the help of a hormone called thymosin. T lymphocytes are majorly of two types, T helper cells, TC cells, TH and TC. TC cells are involved in cell-mediated immunity, and they are also involved in graft rejection. And TH cells, they are involved in cell-mediated immunity by activating TC cells. They are involved in humoral immunity by activating the B lymphocytes. Large granular lymphocytes, they are called natural killer cells. They are involved in innate immunity, the immunity which is there by birth. Overall, lymphocytes are mainly involved in the immune responses. We can call them as immune cells. The next category is monocytes. The monocytes are depending on this picture, it is the largest formed element. The shape of the nucleus is a reniform, kidney-shaped nucleus. You can also call it as bean-shaped nucleus. And monocytes are also involved in phagocytosis. We can call monocytes as internal scavengers because they can engulf the cellular debris also. So granulocytic phagocytes are neutrophils. Agranulocytic phagocytes are monocytes. And this is the picture. From this picture, they are asking the questions based on diagram in NEET. Basophils they asked, neutrophils they asked in previous NEET exam. After leukocytes, the third category is platelets. See, platelets are produced from the specialized cells of bone marrow. They are called megakaryocytes. These megakaryocytes are having nucleus, no doubt, but they undergo a process called fragmentation. So after the fragmentation, those bits and pieces that are produced are called platelets. Hence, platelets are not cells, they are cell fragments. They are also enucleated. Nucleus is absent in them. So what is the main function of platelets? Platelets are involved in production of certain clotting factors. Hence, they are involved in blood clotting during bleeding. In some viral fevers like dengue, there will be a platelet fall can be seen. So those persons required the transfusion of platelets. Number of platelets is 1.5 lakhs to 3.5 lakhs per cubic milliliter. These numbers are also important. They are asked in 2026 first NEET exam regarding the percentages. So depending on the percentage, they will ask us to calculate the number of WBCs. So with this, we have completed the blood topic, and next one is lymph. Lymph is nothing but the fluid that is formed in the interstitial spaces, which is formed from the extracellular fluid. The whole extracellular fluid is not lymph. And what is extracellular fluid? At systemic capillaries at a particular tissue, some amount of plasma along with the other components of blood, it will pass through the blood capillary and gets into the tissue spaces. That is called extracellular fluid. It is involved in the exchange of materials between the blood and tissues. Once the exchange is over, some amount of the interstitial fluid, whatever the plasma came out of the blood, it will go back. But not whole amount. Some amount is still left in the interstitial spaces. That leftover interstitial fluid is called lymph, which will be carried to the blood by an alternate system called lymphatic system. That means through lymph capillaries, lymph vessels, lymph nodes, lymphatic ducts, and finally lymph will be drained into the venous system, major veins like superior vena cava. So this is lymph. Lymph is nothing but tissue fluid, but not whole tissue fluid is lymph. A part of the tissue fluid is lymph. In the intestine we have villi. The villi consists of lymphatic vessels or lymph capillaries known as lacteals. They collect digested fats called chylomicrons, and those fats are transported by the lymph to the blood. So that means lymph can carry fats to the blood, and the mineral composition of this interstitial fluid is almost equal to blood plasma. So these are the points related to the lymph. The equation regarding the lymph is equal to blood minus red blood cells, platelets, and large plasma proteins. That means lymph does not have RBC, platelets, and large plasma proteins. It does have WBC. The specialized WBC present in the lymph are lymphocytes. Of course, it is also having small plasma proteins. So this is regarding lymph. Serum is plasma minus clotting proteins. Lymph is blood minus RBC, platelets, and large plasma proteins. The next topic is muscular tissue. Muscle is a specialized tissue of mesodermal in origin. Mostly it is mesodermal. There are some muscles like ciliary and iris muscles of eye are derived from ectoderm. 40 to 50% of the body weight is constituted by the muscles, and muscles are having 4 basic properties. Excitability, that means giving response to a stimulus. Contractility, muscle undergo contraction, of course it will go back to the normal state, we can call it as elasticity. And extensibility, muscle can be stretched. These are the 4 basic properties of muscles. The basic points of a muscle is, muscle cell is called myocyte, also called sarcocyte. The cytoplasm of the muscle is called sarcoplasm. Plasma membrane is called sarcolemma. And broadly we can categorize the muscle tissue into 3 types: skeletal muscle, visceral muscle, cardiac muscle. Let's talk about these muscles one by one. Listen carefully. First I will discuss about skeletal muscle. The skeletal muscle occur in the form of a bundle. The skeletal muscle is covered by a connective tissue sheath called a fascia. Inside that, the bundles are called fascicles. Inside fascicles, there are muscle fibers. Muscle fiber is nothing but skeletal muscle cell. Skeletal muscle cell is long and cylindrical. It is multinucleated in nature. It has striations, that means dark and light bands are arranged alternately. And skeletal muscle is voluntary in nature. Voluntary means its activities are under the direct neural regulation. So central nervous system through somatic nerves can regulate the contractions of skeletal muscles. This is said to be voluntary muscle. See, voluntary muscle, involuntary muscle, both are under the control of nervous system only. But the difference is under the direct neural regulation. Voluntary muscles are under the direct neural regulation of nervous system. Involuntary muscles are not under the direct neural regulation, but they are indirectly regulated by the nervous system itself. The examples of skeletal muscles include bicep muscles, tricep muscles, muscles of diaphragm, intercostal muscles between the ribs, muscles of abdominal wall, muscles of tongue, muscles of jaws also comes under skeletal muscles. Next, when it comes to the smooth muscles are also called visceral muscles. It has got the name smooth because it has no striations. It has got the name visceral because these muscles are present in the walls of internal body parts like visceral organs. Smooth muscle is also covered by a connective tissue sheath, but it is not fascia. Cells are bundled together by connective tissue sheath in smooth muscle, and between the cells there are cell junctions like othering junctions present to hold the cells together. When it comes to the shape of the cell, it is spindle shaped, fusiform, taper at both the ends. It is uninucleated, single nucleus is present. There are no striations, hence it is called unstriated muscle. And it is involuntary. That means central nervous system through autonomic nerves control the contractions of smooth muscles. Hence it is said to be involuntary. Examples of smooth muscles include wall of digestive tract, that means wall of stomach intestine, respiratory tract, wall of trachea, circulatory tract, wall of blood vessels, excretory tract, wall of urinary bladder, ureter, reproductive tract like wall of uterus. These are all coming under visceral muscles, which are also said to be smooth muscles. And the third category is cardiac muscle. The cardiac muscle is branched in nature. Each cardiac muscle fiber is short and cylindrical. It is also uninucleated in nature, and it is striated. The dark and light bands are arranged alternately. And one important point I want to tell you, the main difference between striated and unstriated is that banding pattern is absent in unstriated, but the myosin actin filaments are clearly present in all muscles. Even unstriated muscle consists of myosin and actin filaments. And cardiac muscle consists of some special self-fusing points called intercalated discs. These intercalated discs possess gap junctions. Gap junctions allows the rapid movement of ions for the information exchange and communication. That makes cardiac muscle to contract as a unit. Hence, cardiac muscle is said to be functional syncytium. And this cardiac muscle can be seen in the wall of heart. Specialized cardiac muscle is present in sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node, Purkinje fibers, which is nothing but nodal tissue of the heart. They are all having cardiac musculature. And the cardiac muscle is involuntary in nature. That means central nervous system regulate the contractions indirectly through autonomic nerves like sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. So this is about a cardiac muscle. The next tissue is neural tissue. The neural tissue consists of two types of cells, neurons and neuroglia. Neurons are excitable cells and neuroglia are supporting cells. They support the neurons. They create the environment required for the generation of and conduction of nerve impulse by the neurons. Compared to the neurons, neuroglia are more numerous. More than half of the neural tissue is made up of neuroglia. First, let us talk about neurons. Neurons are nothing but nerve cells. They are irritable. That means they have excitability. They can respond to the stimulus. Neurons cannot undergo mitosis, but neuroglia, supporting cells, can divide throughout life. When we talk about a typical neuron, that is nothing but multipolar neuron. It consists of a cell body and two types of process like dendrites and axon. The cell body consists of nucleus. Along with the nucleus, there are other cell organelles present in the cell body and some special parts present in the cell body called Nissl granules. Nissl granules are the representatives of rough endoplasmic reticulum and ribosomes. They are involved in protein synthesis. The next one is dendrites. There are many dendrites present around a cell body in one multipolar neuron. Dendrites are many. Dendrites are short fiber-like structures. They are branched. They also possess Nissl granules. And dendrites are involved in conduction of impulses towards the cell body. Cell body is also called cyton, soma, perikaryon. It is having Nissl granules and dendrites are also having Nissl granules. And the next part is axon. A single axon is present, which is also called nerve fiber. Axon is covered by a membrane called axolemma, and inside the axon there is cytoplasm called axoplasm. And this axon, at the tip, it is divided into branches called axon terminals. At the tip of axon terminal, there is a synaptic knob. The knob consists of vesicles inside it called synaptic vesicles. The synaptic vesicles are having a chemical called neurotransmitter. The most common example for the neurotransmitter is acetylcholine. One more point regarding the axon is not having Nissl granules. Nissl granules are absent in axon. The axon here is covered by Schwann cells. The Schwann cells are forming a particular component called myelin. When myelin is there, that particular axon is called myelinated axon. If myelin is not there, that axon is called non-myelinated axon. That means there are two types of axons, myelinated, non-myelinated. When we talk about the central nervous system, in the central nervous system, there is grey matter and white matter. The white matter consists of myelin, grey matter is not having myelin. So example for the CNS myelinated part is white matter, CNS non-myelinated is grey matter. And that myelin in the central nervous system is formed by the neuroglial cells called oligodendrocytes. When it comes to the peripheral nervous system, there are nerves like cranial nerves, spinal nerves, somatic nerves, autonomic nerves. The myelinated axons are most commonly found in cranial and spinal nerves. Non-myelinated axons are most commonly found in somatic and autonomic nerves. Who is forming the myelin sheath in this peripheral nervous system, cranial nerves and spinal nerves? Again, neuroglial cells. Those cells are called Schwann cells. Remember this point? The myelin sheath of central nervous system is formed by the oligodendrocytes. Of peripheral nervous system is formed by the Schwann cells. And the part of the axon without myelin is called node of Ranvier. So this is about the structure of a multipolar neuron. And there are three types of neurons in a broad classification depending on the number of processes arised from it: unipolar neurons, bipolar neurons, multipolar neurons. Unipolar neurons are having a cell body with only a single process, most commonly found in embryonic stage. Bipolar neurons are having two processes to the cell body, one is axon and one is dendrite. They are sensory in nature, commonly seen in the retina of eye. Multipolar neurons, they are having one axon and many dendrites. Multipolar, many dendrites, commonly seen in the cerebral cortex. And multipolar neurons are sensory and motor in nature. So this is about neural tissue, and let's talk about neuroglial cells. The central nervous system is having neuroglial cells like oligodendrocytes, astrocytes, microglial cells and ependymal cells. The oligodendrocytes of CNS are involved in the formation of myelin sheath. Microglial cells are the phagocytes of central nervous system. This is enough. And the peripheral nervous system consists of Schwann cells. Schwann cells are involved in the formation of myelin sheath. But the most important point is, even non-myelinated axons are embedded within the Schwann cell. But there, Schwann is not forming the myelin. So Schwann cell is common for non-myelinated and myelinated. But in the myelinated, Schwann secretes myelin. The last component is organ and organ system. So four basic types of tissues are there. The basic tissues mentioned above organize to form organs, which in turn associate to form organ systems in the multicellular organisms. Such an organization is essential for more efficient and better coordinated activities of millions of cells consulting in organism. Each organ in our body is made up of one or more types of tissues. And most of the organs, some organs in our body, they consist of all the four types of tissues. If you take heart, heart consists of epithelial, connective, muscular and neural tissue. So some organs, they consist of all the four types. The complexity in organ systems displays certain discernible trend, evolutionary trend. That means while we are moving from the lower organisms to the higher organisms, the complexity is increasing. So with this, animal tissues topic is completed in the structural organization in animals topic. The next topic is cockroach. See the introductory points related to the cockroach, but before getting into that, if you see the classification of cockroach, it belongs to the phylum Arthropoda and the class Insecta. Insecta is also called hexapoda. Generally, they are having three pairs of legs. Hexa means 6, poda means legs. See the points, the cockroaches are black or brown bodied animals, but other colors like yellow, red, green colored cockroaches also reported in tropical regions. The general size of the cockroach includes 1/4 inches to the 3 inches. In centimeters, it is 0.6 to 7.6 centimeters. The body of cockroaches is elongated, elliptical and dorso-ventrally flattened. Cockroaches are nocturnal in nature, active during night time, and they are omnivorous, feeding on all types of food. And they are cursorial, that means they can move fast with the help of jointed legs. They live in damp places. Dark and moist places are called damp. They are not dry, dark and moist. And cockroaches act as pests and vectors for several diseases. In our topic, we are going to discuss about a cockroach, common Indian cockroach called Periplaneta americana. It is brown bodied. Periplaneta americana, general size is 34 to 53 millimeters. It's not centimeters. And in Periplaneta americana, wings extend beyond abdomen in males. That acts as a difference between male and female, secondary sexual character. And if you see the body divisions of Periplaneta americana, it has three divisions: head, thorax and abdomen. The body is covered by chitinous exoskeleton made up of chitin. And this exoskeleton is in the form of plates called sclerites. For each segment, dorsally there is a plate called tergite, Ventrally, the plate is called sternite, and laterally, the plates are called pleurites. The sclerites are attached, joined with one another by arthroidal membrane. So, at the arthroidal membrane, there is flexibility between the plates. So, they are attached to tergum, sternum to sternum by arthroidal membrane, tergum to pleurites, sternum to pleurites, like that. So, regarding the morphology, these are the characters of cockroach, Periplaneta americana. Let us talk about the individual divisions of the cockroach in detail, like head, thorax and cockroach. And this division of body into head, thorax and abdomen is called tagmatization. They are called tagmata. Let's talk about the first tagmata, head. Head consists of 6 fused segments. It is triangular in shape, located anteriorly at right angles to the longitudinal axis of the body. So, if the cockroach is straight, the head is slightly bent, right angles. So, the condition is called hypognathous head. I said it consists of 6 fused segments. Because of hypognathous nature, the mouth parts are directed downwards. And head can move in different directions. There is a great motility because of flexible neck, head attached to the thorax with the help of neck. And head consists of different parts. The parts of the head includes, it is having a pair of compound eyes, it is having a pair of simple eyes called fenestrae, a pair of antennae. Head also consists of mouth parts. So, regarding the antennae, so antennae are present in front of the compound eyes, arise from the membrane sockets. Antennae are sensory in nature, they can monitor the changes in environment. They are olfactory in nature, they can also detect the touch. And simple eyes of fenestrae, they can detect the changes in light. When it comes to the mouth parts of the cockroach are called biting and chewing type of mouth parts. The names of the mouth parts includes upper lip called labrum, lower lip labium, in between there is a tongue, the tongue is known as hypopharynx. And to the sides, a pair of mandibles present and a pair of maxillae present. Mandibles one pair, maxillae one pair. The mandibles are involved, so they are chitinous stout structures having muscles. They can cut the food into small particles. They are involved in mastication. They are involved in grinding of the food. And this maxillae are having maxillary pulps that are sensory in nature. They can detect taste and smell. And labium is having labial pulps. They are also sensory in nature. They can detect smell and taste of the food. So, this is the brief account about the mouth parts. And this is about head. Then head is connected to the thorax through the neck. In the thorax, there are 3 segments like prothorax, mesothorax, metathorax. The neck is the extension of prothorax. Neck is the extension of prothorax. And it is having 3 segments, prothorax, mesothorax, metathorax. Dorsally, the prothorax is covered by a tergite called pronotum. Pronotum is the largest sclerite of cockroach. And mesothorax is covered by mesonotum, metathorax is covered by the metanotum. And thorax consists of legs and wings. There are 3 pairs of legs are there in thoracic region. Legs are jointed in nature. Each leg is having 5 subunits called podomeres. And with the help of 6 legs, the cockroach can form 2 tripods, and the type of locomotion performed with the help of jointed legs is called cursorial mode of locomotion. And when it comes to the wings, there are 2 pairs of wings. First pair of wings are located in the mesothorax, second pair of wings are located in the metathorax. Mesothoracic wings are called tegmina. The tegmina are opaque and dark. They are leathery in nature. They covers the hind limbs when the cockroach is in rest. When it comes to the hind limbs are arised from the metathorax. They are transparent and membranous. They are useful in flight. So, the wings that are involved in flight are metathoracic. Wings that are involved in protection are mesothoracic. They are also called tegmina. When it comes to the abdomen, abdomen consists of 10 segments. Here some points I just want to give you, listen carefully. The 10th segment of both males and females possess a pair of filamentous structures called anal cerci. They are sensory in nature. The 9th segment of male cockroach possesses some thread-like structures called anal styles which are also called caudal styles. They are present only in males. In females, there is a genital pouch which is also called brood pouch, formed by the 7th, 8th, 9th sterna. 7th, 8th, 9th sterna. The brood pouch of female is formed by. Next, the genital pouch is there even in males. The genital pouch is dorsally bounded by 9th and 10th terga, ventrally bounded by 9th sternum in male cockroach. So the anus is dorsal and male gonopore is ventral. Remember, the gonopore is ventral to the anus in males. So these are some important points related to the abdomen of cockroach. Let's come to the anatomy. The first topic in the anatomy of cockroach is digestive system. The digestive system of cockroach consists of two parts, alimentary canal and digestive glands. With respect to the alimentary canal, it has three portions, foregut, midgut and hindgut. The foregut and hindgut internally lined by the cuticle, whereas midgut is not lined by the cuticle. And the parts of foregut includes pharynx, esophagus, crop and gizzard. A narrow tube called esophagus, sac-like structure called crop and gizzard. Crop function is it stores the food. Gizzard function, the gizzard internally it has cuticle, externally it has circular muscles, and the cuticle can form 6 teeth-like structures in the gizzard. It can able to grind the food. It can able to grind the food. And this is about a foregut. Next, foregut is attached to the midgut. Midgut is coiled. At the junction of foregut and midgut, there are 6 to 8 finger-shaped diverticula present, known as gastric cecae, which are also called hepatic cecae. These hepatic cecae are involved in the production of digestive enzymes, and they are involved in digestion. And midgut opens into the hindgut. Compared to the midgut, the hindgut is broad, and the parts of the hindgut includes ileum, colon, rectum, and rectum opens out through anus. At the junction of midgut and hindgut, there are 100 to 150 yellow fibril-like structures present, known as Malpighian tubules. Malpighian tubules are involved in excretion. They are attached to the gut, but they are nowhere related to the digestion activity. So this is about alimentary canal. Next, the digestive glands includes the gastric cecae acts as digestive glands because they produce the enzymes. Anterior part of the midgut also produces enzymes. It is also a digestive gland. But on either sides of the crop, cockroach consists of a pair of salivary glands. Salivary glands are involved in the production of saliva. The main enzyme present in the saliva digesting starch is amylase. So this is regarding the anatomy of digestive system anatomy of cockroach. Next, regarding the circulatory system of cockroach. The cockroach circulatory system, the blood vascular system, is of open type. It has three important parts like hemocoel, heart and blood. Let's talk about these parts one by one. The hemocoel is nothing but body cavity filled with blood. There are mainly three sinuses in the body, like dorsal chamber, middle chamber and ventral chamber. Dorsal is called pericardial sinus, middle is called perivisceral sinus, and inner is called perineural, because these three sinuses are formed by the two diaphragms, like dorsal diaphragm and ventral diaphragm. Overall, you can say it is a body cavity filled with blood. So this is called hemocoel. The blood present in the hemocoel is called hemolymph, because as it is flowing through the body cavity, there is no difference between blood and lymph, hence you can call it as hemolymph. When it comes to the hemolymph is colorless in cockroach. It consists of two parts, one is plasma and second one is hemocytes. Hemocytes are phagocytes. And what about plasma? What are the functions of plasma? Plasma is involved in the transportation of nutrients to the body parts, transportation of waste from body parts to the Malpighian tubules, and transportation of hormones from endocrine glands to the target tissues. So blood has a role in many activities, but generally blood does not have an important role in the transportation of respiratory gases due to the absence of respiratory pigment. So the blood is colorless. So these are the points related to the blood. But when it comes to the heart of the cockroach is located dorsally in the sinus called pericardial sinus. It consists of 13 chambers, and the arrangement of chambers are in such a way, the posterior chamber opens into the anterior. Like this is the first chamber and this is the 13th chamber. 13th opens into 11th. Like that, second opens into first. The blood flow in the heart is posterior to anterior. On the lateral sides of the heart chamber, there are openings called ostia. Ostia are the valvular openings. They allow the blood only in one direction. And there are specialized muscles are there in circulatory system of cockroach that are helping in circulation. They are called alary muscles. These alary muscles can contract and relax. In that contraction and relaxation, there will be movement of blood from in and out of the heart. So these are the basic points related to the circulation. If you see the pattern of circulation in cockroach, see, for example, the blood is there in the heart. Heart, the first chamber is having a blood vessel called aorta. Blood from heart, from posterior to anterior, it will move and it will be released into the aorta. From aorta, the blood is released into the head sinus, from head sinus to the other sinuses like perineural and perivisceral. By the contraction of alary muscles, blood moves from this perivisceral perineural sinus into the pericardial sinus. Once the blood enters the pericardial sinus, by the relaxation of alary muscles, blood moves from pericardial sinus into the heart through ostia. Remember this point. Blood enter from sinuses to heart through ostia. Blood enter from heart to the sinuses through aorta. So this is the basic circulation in cockroach. The next topic is respiratory system. The respiratory system of cockroach is called a tracheal system, which includes the three important parts. The first part is spiracles, also called stigmata. Second part is trachea, and third part is tracheoles. Regarding the tracheoles, see, the tracheal system of a cockroach is called polynucleatic because there are nearly 10 pairs of spiracles present. It is called holonucleatic because all the spiracles are functional. They are functional. And where are these spiracles, the stigmata, are located? They are located laterally on the pleurites. One pair in each segment. There are 10 pairs of spiracles. 2 pairs of spiracles are present in the thorax. One pair in mesothorax and one pair in metathorax. Prothorax is not having spiracles. Next, the abdomen consists of 8 pairs of spiracles. The first 8 segments consist of 8 pairs of spiracles. Spiracles are sphinctered openings. And spiracles internally, they are connected to a chamber called atrium. Atrium opens into a tube called trachea. So the trachea consists of layers like the arrangement of layers in the wall of trachea includes basement membrane, followed by epithelium, followed by cuticle. And trachea is more involved in the transportation of gases. Trachea, at its tip, it is divided into branches called tracheoles. Divides into branches called tracheoles. Those tracheoles enter into the cells. Tracheoles are thin-walled structures. The exchange of gases in cockroach occurs at the tracheoles level by a process called diffusion. Oxygen carbon dioxide exchange occurs at tracheoles level. So these are the few fundamental and important points related to the respiratory system of cockroach. Spiracles location is important in the thorax and abdomen. 2 pairs in the thorax and 8 pairs in abdomen. Next is nervous system. The nervous system of cockroach is spread throughout the body, no doubt in that. But a bit of nervous system is present in the head, that means nerve ring. And majority of the nervous system is present in the thorax and abdomen on the ventral side. As the head is holding a bit of nervous system, though the head is lost, the cockroach can able to manage and live for about a maximum of 7 days. That doesn't mean head has no nervous system. Head has a bit. Nerve ring is present in the head region. And the nervous system of cockroach includes central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and autonomic nervous system. Central nervous system of cockroach consists of nerve ring and nerve cords. This is important, guys. The nerve ring of cockroach is present around esophagus. In the nerve ring, above the dorsal side of esophagus, there are ganglia called supraesophageal ganglia. Ventral side of the esophagus, there are ganglia called subesophageal ganglia connected by lateral nerves. That is called nerve ring. The supraesophageal ganglia is represented as brain, and it is sensory in nature. It receives the impulses from eyes and antennae. Next, from subesophageal ganglia, nerve cords are arised. Nerve cords are located on the ventral side. they are double, they are solid and ganglionated. On the nerve cords, there are 9 ganglia present, 3 ganglia in the thoracic region and 6 ganglia in the abdominal region. So this is about central nervous system. And there are nerves arise from that comes under peripheral nervous system. So these are the points related to the nervous system of cockroach. When it comes to the sense organs of cockroach, antennae are the sense organs. They are olfactory in nature and they can detect the touch. Eyes are sensory structures like compound eyes and simple eyes. Maxillary palps, labial palps and anal cerci are the sensory in nature. When it comes to the eyes, compound eyes are dorsolaterally located on the head region. They are dark in color and each compound eye consists of functional and structural units called ommatidia. Around 2000 ommatidia present in each compound eye. Each ommatidium is optically independent. And with the help of those compound eyes, the cockroach can receive small images from an object and it will join all the images and gets a complete picture which is called mosaic image. The vision in cockroach is mosaic. As the cockroach is nocturnal in nature, it has more sensitivity. Even in dim light, it can able to see the object. But that is not clear, hence it is said to be low resolution. It has high sensitivity, low resolution and mosaic vision with the help of compound eyes. Simple eyes, generally they are involved in the detection in the changes of light. They are said to be fenestrae present at the base of antennae, also called ocelli. Next is a reproductive system. Sexes are separated in cockroach. When you see the sexual dimorphism between male and female cockroaches, anal styles present only in male cockroach. Wings extend beyond abdomen in male cockroach. The boat-shaped 7th sternum is the characteristic of female cockroach. So the cockroaches are unisexual, sexes separate, which are said to be dioecious in nature. Let's see the male reproductive system of cockroach. The male reproductive system includes the parts like testis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, ejaculatory duct, male gonopore, of course genital pouch also. Along with that, there is mushroom-shaped gland and phallic gland is also present. Regarding the testis, a pair of testes present on the lateral sides of the abdomen. They are extending between 4th to the 6th segment. Each testis consists of many lobules. They are involved in the production of sperms. The sperms that are produced will be released into the vas deferens. Vas deferens is going downward and inward and they open into seminal vesicles. In the seminal vesicles, the sperms are temporarily stored and nourished. Seminal vesicles releases the sperms into ejaculated duct. Ejaculated duct opens into the genital pouch in the 9th sternum through male gonopore. Male gonopore location is there in the 9th sternum. About the mushroom-shaped gland, it is extending between 6th and 7th segments. It has 2 types of tubules, peripheral long tubules and central short tubules. And the duct coming from the mushroom-shaped gland is called ejaculatory duct. It opens into the brood pouch in 9th sternum through male gonopore. Slightly anterior to the mushroom-shaped gland, there is a phallic gland. The function of the phallic gland seems to be unknown, but they believe that it is involved in the formation of spermatophores. Spermatophores are formed in the seminal vesicles. And this phallic gland, it has a duct called phallic duct that also opens into the brood pouch in the 9th sternum. Next, there are some chitinous asymmetrical structures in the male reproductive system of cockroach called phallomeres. There are 3 phallomeres are there: right phallomere, left phallomere and ventral phallomere. The left phallomere in the 9th sternum, it holds the male gonopore. Ventral phallomere holds the male gonopore. Left phallomere consists of parts like titillator and pseudopenis. Overall, the phallomeres are involved in copulation. They are said to be the copulatory organs. And the genital chamber of male, it is dorsally bounded by the 9th and 10th terga, ventrally bounded by the 9th sternum. And here the question is, what are the structures that are associated to the genital pouch in male cockroach? One is a gonopore, G. Second one is gonapophysis, nothing but phallomeres. Third one is a opening of a phallic duct. And fourth one is anus. Anus is there in the 10th segment. 10th tergum is the part of the male genital pouch. And if you see the passage of sperms question here, testis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, ejaculatory duct, male gonopore. So this is the passage of sperms. The sperms are in the form of groups. That group is called spermatophore. Let's see the female reproductive system. Regarding the female reproductive system, the parts like a pair of ovaries are there on the lateral sides of abdomen. They are extending between 2 to 6 segments. Each ovary consists of 8 ovarioles. Ovariole consists of different developmental stages of the ova. And 8 ovarioles of one ovary unite to form oviduct. From both sides, a pair of oviducts, they opens into a common oviduct known as vagina. Vagina opens into the brood pouch in the 8th sternum through female gonopore. See, male gonopore is in the 9th sternum, female gonopore is in 8th sternum. Phallomeres in the male are in 9th sternum. Anus is in 10th, both in males and females. So, the vagina, common oviduct, opens into the brood pouch in the 8th sternum through female gonopore, genital pouch through female gonopore. Next, a pair of spermathecae present in the 6th segment. One is sac-like and one is filamentous. The function of spermathecae, it temporarily stores the spermatophores after copulation. Before copulation, the sperms are stored in seminal vesicles. After copulation, the sperms are stored in spermatheca. And spermatheca also opens into the genital pouch. Vagina is opening into the genital pouch, spermatheca opening into the genital pouch, and on the lateral sides there are collateral glands are there. The secretions of collateral glands are also released into the genital pouch anteriorly. So, the genital pouch is associated with the spermathecal aperture, associated with the female gonopore, associated with the collateral glands, and also associated with the gonapophysis. There are 3 pairs of gonapophysis present in the female cockroach. So, this is about a female reproductive system. And regarding the genital pouch or brood pouch of the female reproductive system, it has 2 parts. One is genital chamber and next one is vestibulum. So, the fertilization occurs within the genital chamber of a genital pouch. Hence, the fertilization is said to be internal in cockroach. And passage of ova parts includes ovaries, oviduct, vagina, female gonopore. Next, the male and female during breeding season, the male and female cockroach, they come closer to each other with their posterior ends. There will be deposition of spermatophores from male cockroach to the female cockroach. Once the spermatophores are transferred, they are temporarily stored in the spermatheca female cockroach and they will be released into the genital pouch of female. Ovary of the female releases eggs into the genital pouch. Fertilization occurs inside the genital pouch. Fertilized eggs are formed. At a time, both the ovaries together produce 14 to 16 eggs. Once the fertilization is over, around those 14 to 16 eggs, a chamber is secreted by the collateral glands that is called ootheca. Ootheca. The ootheca is a dark reddish to blackish brown capsule about 3 by 8 inches, that means 8 mm long. It is secreted by the collateral glands. And once the fertilized eggs are there, ootheca will be dropped in the damp places. On an average, a female can produce 9 to 10 ootheca. Once the ootheca comes out, then the further development of the eggs takes place in the ootheca. And those eggs develops into nymph. Nymph undergo nearly 13 moltings and finally develops into adult. Next to the last nymphal stage possess wing pads, whereas adult cockroach possess wings. As nymph stage is there, the type of the development in cockroach is called parometabolous. It is parometabolous. And a ootheca consists of 14 to 16 eggs. On an average, 9 to 10 ootheca produced. Number of moltings, 13. Economic importance. Many species of cockroaches are wild and are of no known economic importance yet. And what are the other points? A few species thrive in and around human habitat. They act as pests because they spoil food and contaminate it with their smelly excreta, and also transmit variety of bacterial diseases by contaminating food material. So, with this I have completed the cockroach topic. The next topic in structural organization is a frog. Regarding the classification of frog, it belongs to the phylum Chordata, subphylum Vertebrata, superclass Tetrapoda, and class Amphibia. About the habitats of a frog, frogs can live both on land and in fresh water. The most common species of a frog found in India is Rana tigrina. So, we have the type study of Rana tigrina, some the fundamental concepts related to the anatomy. Let's talk about the features that are related to the Rana tigrina. It is poikilothermous in nature. That means it is cold-blooded. It cannot maintain the constant body temperature. Next, the body temperature varies with the temperature of the surroundings. Hence, it is said to be ectothermic in nature. The frogs are carnivorous in nature, and frogs shows camouflage. They have the ability to change the color, blending color with the surroundings and protect them from the predators. This kind of cryptic coloration is called mimicry. And the frogs can perform estivation and hibernation during unfavorable conditions. They perform estivation in summer, they perform hibernation during winter. During estivation and hibernation, they perform their respiration with the help of skin only, and they will not feed on the food. They depends on the reserves like glycogen and fat, and the metabolic rate is low at that time, hence the oxygen consumption also will be low, so that they can able to manage and tide over the unfavorable conditions with the help of the low metabolic rate and reserves. When it comes to the morphology of a frog, the frog consists of two portions, the head and trunk. Neck is absent in frog, the tail is absent in frog, and when it comes to the skin of the frog is moist and slippery. It consists of mucous glands. The skin is in the form of loose fold of nature, and the skin is highly vascular. It helps in cutaneous respiration. The color of the skin, dorsally it is the olive green in color with dark color patches, ventrally it is uniform pale yellow. And frogs generally do not drink water because they absorb the water through their skin. And the frogs always maintain the moist nature of the skin for cutaneous respiration, because skin helps for respiration both on land, in water, during estivation and during hibernation. There is sexual dimorphism in frog. Like the male frogs consists of vocal sacs, which are sound producing and sound amplifying organs. The male frogs are also having specialized structures called copulatory pads. They are present on the lower side of first digit of four limbs. And in the morphology, frogs consist of a pair of limbs, forelimbs and hind limbs. The forelimbs consist of 4 digits, they are not webbed. Hind limbs consist of 5 digits, and the feet are webbed statement is mentioned in NCERT. That means the digits of hind limbs are webbed, and the limbs are helping in walking, jumping, burrowing and swimming. Eyes are provided with eyelids, and eyes consist of a special eyelid called a nictitating membrane. Nictitating membrane protects the frogs in water while they are swimming. So this is about the morphological features of a frog. Let's talk about anatomy. Regarding the anatomy, the digestive system. The digestive system of frog consists of 2 parts. One is alimentary canal, second one is digestive glands. If you see the alimentary canal, it starts with the mouth. Mouth opens into buccal cavity. Buccal cavity opens into pharynx. Pharynx to esophagus. Esophagus opens into stomach. Stomach opens into small intestine. Then opens into rectum. Rectum opens into cloaca. So these are the parts of alimentary canal. Teeth are absent generally in frog. And when it comes to the digestive glands, salivary glands are absent in frog. There are glands in the alimentary canal like gastric glands and intestinal glands. There are glands outside the alimentary canal like pancreas and liver. These are the digestive glands along with the parts of alimentary canal. See about the process of digestion. Frog is having bilobed tongue. So with the help of bilobed tongue, it can capture the food. Then the food will be swallowed into the pharynx. Pharynx, finally it reaches the stomach. There is no digestion in the buccal cavity. Digestion in frog starts from stomach because there are no teeth in the buccal cavity and there are no salivary glands. In the stomach, the gastric glands produces gastric juice, especially the HCl present in the gastric juice converts pepsinogen of gastric juice into active pepsin. Then pepsin acts on the proteins, converts the proteins into proteases and peptones. The proteins are partially digested in stomach. This partially digested acidic food of stomach in frog is said to be chyme. Chyme slowly passes into the small intestine. Once the food enters into the small intestine, now the food is mixed with the juices of intestinal juice, juices of pancreatic juice, and also with the juices of liver, that is bile juice. So the chyme will be neutralized with the help of bicarbonates of these juices and it will become alkaline. In the alkaline pH, all the enzymes and other components of these three juices can act on the food in the small intestine. Most of the digestion can occur in the small intestine, and most of the absorption of digested food also takes place in the small intestine. So, in the small intestine, the fats act upon by the bile salts and they get emulsified. Emulsified fats act upon by the lipases of intestinal juice and pancreatic juice, and they will be broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. And the proteoses, peptones and peptides that are formed in the stomach, with the help of enzymes of pancreatic and intestinal juice, they will be finally converted into amino acids. Carbohydrates acts upon by the pancreatic amylase and converted into monosaccharides and finally converted into glucose, simple sugars. So, with this digestion, the physiology of digestion will be completed in the small intestine. Once the digestion is completed, the digested food, most of the digested food is absorbed in the small intestine with the help of the villi and microvilli present, because microvilli increases the area of absorption. And bile juice, it has bile salts and bile pigments. There are no digestive enzymes in the bile juice, and it is involved in the emulsification of fats, and it is also involved in the activation of enzymes involved in fat digestion like lipases. And frogs are carnivorous in nature. The alimentary canal is short because of its carnivorous nature. When it comes to the respiratory system, the frog can respire with the help of skin, that is called cutaneous respiration, with the help of buccopharyngeal cavity on land, and also with the help of lungs, pulmonary respiration on land. Overall, on land, the frog uses skin, buccopharyngeal cavity and lungs. So, in water, the frog uses only skin. During estivation and hibernation also, frog uses only skin. When it comes to the cutaneous respiration, the frog's skin is moist and slippery, and it is highly vascular. That highly vascular skin and moist nature can able to maintain the pressure gradient around the body, and that causes the diffusion and exchange of gases with the skin. And when it comes to the pulmonary respiration is nothing but respiration through the lungs. It has two steps, inspiration and expiration. During inspiration, the frog closes the mouth and nostrils will be open. Once the frog closes the mouth, it lowers the floor of the buccal cavity. That increases the volume of buccal cavity, so thereby decreases the pressure inside the buccal cavity. That causes the entry of air into the buccal cavity. Once the air enters into the buccal cavity, the floor of the buccal cavity will move up, acts as a force pump and pushes the air into the buccal cavity to pharynx, then into the trachea to the lungs. So, once the air enters the lungs are surrounded by the blood capillaries. That means alveoli are surrounded by the blood capillaries. That causes the exchange of gases. Once the exchange of gases is done, now it's time for the expiration. During expiration, the frog will close the nostrils. Again, the floor of the buccal cavity moves down, decreases the pressure gradient in the buccal cavity. So, that means buccal cavity becomes empty. Now, the air moves from the respiratory tract, lungs, into the buccal cavity. Once the air enters the buccal cavity, now the floor moves up, nostrils will open, air will be pumped out. So, this is called expiration. So, at the time of inspiration, there is up and down movement of the floor of the buccal cavity, buccopharyngeal cavity, and during expiration and inspiration, both in and out movement can be seen. Lowering and upward and downward movement of the floor of the buccopharyngeal cavity can be seen. Next, when it comes to the blood vascular system of frog, it is closed type. It consists of heart, it consists of blood, it consists of blood vessels. Regarding the heart of the frog is located in the upper part of the abdominal cavity. It is given as thorax in NCERT textbook, and it is ventrally located. And heart is muscular. It is covered by a protective membrane called a double layered pericardium. And heart consists of three chambers, two atria and one ventricle. Atria will open into the ventricles. At that opening, there are atrioventricular valves present. So, about the heart, see, on the dorsal side of the heart, the three vena cavae that are collecting the deoxygenated blood from body parts unite to form a triangular chamber. The triangular chamber is called sinus venosus. This sinus venosus will release the deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. Ventrally, from the ventricle, there is a blood vessel is arised called conus arteriosus, which is also called truncus arteriosus. It will emerge out of the heart and further divides into aortic arches. There are 3 pairs of aortic arches present in frog, like carotid arteries, pulmocutaneous and systemic arches. So this is regarding the structure of heart. Let's see the circulation in a frog. Regarding the circulation in frog, listen carefully. For example, right atrium. Dorsally, the heart consists of a triangular chamber called sinus venosus, and the blood vessels that are opening into the sinus venosus are called vena cava. So from body parts, deoxygenated blood will be collected by the, so from the body parts, deoxygenated blood is collected by the vena cava. Vena cava opens into right atrium. This is one path. From the lungs, there are blood vessels called pulmonary veins. They collect oxygenated blood. They release oxygenated blood into left atrium. That means from body parts, right atrium received deoxygenated blood. From lungs, left atrium received oxygenated blood. Both will release the blood into the ventricles. In the ventricle, the blood is mixed. The ventricle is having the mixed blood now. From right atrium, deoxygenated blood. From left atrium, oxygenated blood. Ventricle pump this mixed blood into conus arteriosus. Conus arteriosus pumps this blood into aortic arches. So this mixed blood which is there in the aortic arches, some amount of mixed blood will go to the body parts, some amount of mixed blood will be given to the lungs. So whatever the amount of mixed blood is given to the body parts utilize oxygen from that mixed blood and in turn releases carbon dioxide. Then the blood becomes deoxy and collected back into the right atrium. Whatever the mixed blood pumped by the aortic arches to the lungs, there it will get exposed to the exchange of gases. Then carbon dioxide will be removed at the lungs and then blood become oxy due to the filling of oxygen. Now this oxy blood through the pulmonary veins will come back to left atrium. So this kind of circulation, no doubt it is double circulation, but you can call it as incomplete double circulation because ventricle is pumping mixed blood. There is no separation of oxy and deoxy blood in the ventricle. Regarding the blood of a frog, it consists of plasma and blood cells. Plasma is the fluid component and blood cells includes erythrocytes, leukocytes and thrombocytes. Erythrocytes, the shape of the erythrocytes is here oval and biconvex, and they possess nucleus, nucleated, opposite to the human RBC, and they are involved in the transportation of involved in the transportation of oxygen. When it comes to the WBCs are involved in the defense mechanism, like monocytes, lymphocytes, neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils, and thrombocytes, they are involved in blood clotting. So this is about blood vascular system. Let's talk about lymphatic system. Lymphatic system of frog, it has lymph, and lymph passes through lymph channels and also lymph nodes. And the lymph in human and in frog are same because the lymph is equal to blood without, that means blood minus RBC, large plasma proteins and platelets. And lymph will be drained into the venous system finally. Next is excretory system. Elimination of waste from the body is called excretion. The excretion is performed with the help of a system in frog. The excretory system consists of parts like a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters that are emerging out of the kidneys, and they'll open into the cloaca, and urinary bladder is also connected to the cloaca. So what about the location and size and shape of the kidneys? See, kidneys are compact, dark red and bean-like structures. They are situated a little posteriorly in the body cavity on either sides of the vertebral column. So here there is a vertebral column, on either sides they are located. Next, kidneys consist of units for the preparation of urine. They are called nephrons, which are also known as uriniferous tubules. The urine that is prepared in the kidneys will be released into the ureters. No doubt, ureters emerge out of the kidneys in males, but the ureters in males acts as urinogenital canals. They also carry the sperms. and from the ureter urine will be released into the cloaca, because ureters are connected to cloaca. From there, urine will go to the urinary bladder and temporarily stored there. At the time of urination, bladder will contract, urine will be released back into the cloaca and sent out through the cloacal aperture. Frogs are ureotelic in nature. And regarding the location of urinary bladder, remember the urinary bladder is a sac-like structure located ventral to rectum. So this is about excretory system of a frog. Next, control and coordination. The control and coordination in frog is brought about by both the endocrine system and nervous system. Endocrine system is nothing but it has endocrine glands secreting hormones, which are nothing but ductless glands. They are secreted into the fluid bathing the gland. From their blood will carry the hormones to the target tissues. And endocrine glands of frog includes pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid, thymus, pineal, pancreatic islets. The pancreatic islets, they are the islets of Langerhans. Next, adrenal glands and also gonads. And adrenal glands are located on the ventral side of the kidney. Next, coordination is by the nervous system. The nervous system of frog consists of central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. The central nervous system is having the parts like brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system is having parts like cranial and spinal nerves. Autonomic nervous system is having sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous nerves. So these are the three portions of nervous system. When it comes to the central nervous system, it has brain and spinal cord. With regarding the brain is protected by a bony box called cranium, and brain is protected by the meninges. The protective membrane is called meninges. There are two meninges around the brain. Next, the brain is divided into three portions like forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. The part of forebrain includes a pair of olfactory lobes, pair of cerebral hemispheres and a diencephalon. These are the parts of forebrain. And in this, olfactory lobes are paid, cerebral hemispheres are paid, diencephalon is unpaid. And when it comes to the midbrain consists of a pair of optic lobes. And finally, the hindbrain consists of two parts like cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum and medulla oblongata are also unpaid. Optic lobes of the midbrain are paid in nature. And the basic functions of these parts. Olfactory lobes, the name itself indicates it can able to receive the smell signals and analyze them. Cerebral hemispheres are related to the control of voluntary activities. Diencephalon can regulate the thirst, hunger, and also it regulates the body temperature, like regulation of body temperature by the diencephalon. Next, optic lobes, they can receive the visual reflexes, that means signals, and they can analyze the visual reflexes. Cerebellum maintains the body balance, equilibrium, and medulla oblongata regulates the activities of vital organs like heart, gastric secretion, respiration, etc. So these are the basic functions. And brain, medulla oblongata part of the brain that continues as spinal cord, and it comes out through an aperture located at the posterior end of the cranium known as foramen magnum. And when it comes to the peripheral nervous system, just two basic points I want to give you. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves are there. Cranial nerves are 10 pairs in number. Spinal nerves are also 10 pairs in Rana tigrina. And sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system increases the heart rate, whereas parasympathetic nervous system decreases the heart rate. So the emergency system is the sympathetic and rest and digest system is the parasympathetic. So related to the heart activity, the two functions are important. That much is enough regarding the autonomic nervous system of frog, because nothing is given in NCERT regarding the autonomic nervous system except the divisions. Next, sensory system. The sense organs of a frog includes organs for touch like sensory papillae, skin, taste buds, smell nasal epithelium, vision eyes and hearing tympanum with internal ears. The organs for touch, taste and smell, they are in the form of cellular aggregations at the nerve endings. This is very, very important. And eye and ear are very organized. See, out of these, eyes and internal ears are well organized, but at the rest are cellular aggregations around nerve endings. The receptors of touch occur in the skin, receptors of taste buds that lie on the small papillae of tongue, and organs of smell are a pair of, they are located in the nasal chambers. The epithelium present in that is called nasal epithelium. When it comes to the hearing, tympanum represents the ear in frog. Of course, middle ear consists of one ear ossicles along with the internal ear, but tympanum is related to receiving the sound signals, and it will send it to the inner ear. Along with the hearing function, the ear is involved in balancing function also. Hence, the ear is said to be statoacoustic organ. And regarding vision, eyes are provided with eyelids. There is a third eyelid called nictitating membrane for protection, and it has a normal retina and rods and cones functions. Last one is the reproductive system of frog. The frogs have organized male and female reproductive systems. There is sexual dimorphism. Male frogs are having vocal sacs. Male frogs possess a copulatory pad on the lower side of the first digit of 4 limbs. When it comes to the male reproductive system of frog, a pair of testes present just above the kidneys. Testes are structurally attached to the kidneys with the help of a double-walled peritoneum called mesorchium. Next, testes, from each testis or inside testis, there are seminiferous tubules for the production of sperms, and from each testis 10 to 12 vasa efferentia will arise, and they will open into the kidneys. In the kidneys, they will be connected to the Bidder's canal. And this Bidder's canal is present in the kidney of only male frogs. It is involved in the transportation of sperms. Though it is located in the kidney, it is not related to the urine transportation. And see, testis connected to vasa efferentia. 10 to 12 vasa efferentia from each testis opens into kidney, and they will be connected into Bidder's. Bidder's finally connected to the ureter in male, but it acts as a urinogenital canal because it is conducting the passage of urine from the kidney. It is also conducting the passage of sperms because Bidder's canal is finally connected to the ureter, and ureter opens into cloaca. From cloaca, the sperms will be released out through cloacal aperture in the form of a group called milt. And regarding the color of the testes, testes are yellow in color. Of course, there are fat bodies are there related to this, but fat bodies are nowhere related to the copulation function and reproduction function. Fat bodies are meant for the storage of excess nutrients. And passage of sperms in male frog, testis, vasa efferentia, Bidder's canal, transverse collecting tubules not mentioned in NCERT, then there to urinogenital duct, cloaca, exterior, group of sperms are called milt. When it comes to the female reproductive system, a pair of ovaries are present, again connected to the kidneys. Ovaries are structurally connected to the kidneys with the help of mesovarium. And there is no functional connection between ovaries and kidney. But testis is functionally connected to the kidneys with the help of vasa efferentia. Structurally connected to the kidneys with the help of mesorchium. But ovaries only structurally connected, they are not functionally connected. The ovaries are located one pair, situated near the kidneys, and there is no functional connection with the kidneys. Ovaries release ova into the body cavity, and from there a pair of oviducts are arised. See, this is oviduct, this is oviduct. Each oviduct is having a funnel shaped structure called ostium, then a long tube, a ovisac, finally opens into cloaca. The ova that is released by the ovaries into the body cavity will be collected by the ostium, funnel shaped oviduct, and finally into the ovisac, temporarily stored and released into the cloaca. From cloaca, they will be released into water. At a time, a female frog can able to produce 2500 to 3000 eggs. And the group of eggs is called span. So, male frog is releasing sperms into water. Female frog is releasing eggs into water. This is the passage of ova in female frog. Ovaries, body cavity, ostium, funnel, oviduct, ovisac, cloaca, and then exterior. So, once the sperms and eggs are released, the fertilization occurs in the water. So, the fertilization in frog is external. And after the fertilization, fertilized eggs will develop into larva. Hence, the development is said to be indirect. Name of the larva is tadpole larva. Tadpole larva is having tail, but frog does not. Tadpole respire with the help of gills, but frog respire with the help of lungs, skin, and buccopharyngeal cavity. And tadpole generally excretes ammonia, frog excretes urea. So, finally, by metamorphosis, tadpole will develop into an adult frog. So, this is regarding the development of a frog. Fertilization external, development external, but development is indirect. About the economic importance of frog. Frogs are beneficial for mankind because they eat insects and protect the crop. So assertion and reason. They are beneficial to mankind, assertion. Reason is they eat insects and protect the crops. Second assertion reason is frogs maintain ecological balance. Reason is they forms an important link in the food chain and food web. And in some countries, the muscular legs and frogs of frogs are used as food by man. So with this, I have completed the frog topic, but I forgot to discuss one point in the circulatory system. I just want to tell you that there is a special venous connection can be seen in frog. That is hepatic portal vein and renal portal veins. Hepatic portal vein, it is the vein connecting intestine to the liver in frog. It carries the blood from intestine to liver. And renal portal vein, it connects lower body parts to the kidney in frog, carries the blood from lower body parts to kidneys. Regarding hepatic portal vein, as it is connecting the intestine to the liver, it carries the digested food to the liver. So hepatic portal vein is said to be having the richest amount of nutrients. So this is the point I just want to convey regarding the circulatory system of frog, special venous connection. It has well-developed hepatic portal system, well-developed renal portal system. With this, I have completed the whole chapter, structural organization in animals, detailed discussion of animal tissues, cockroach and frog. Thank you.